All right, I wanted to go over on how to use one of the Google Classroom assignments that I've uploaded. I'm going to log in as a student, as you can tell, and I've opened up their email. And when you open up their email, and when you open up your email, you're going to see the assignment for the lines of symmetry. And this is also a tutorial just to show you how you can use these Google documents that are being uploaded. So you'll open your email and then you'll open the assignment. Now here I have several accounts, so I'm going to log in as a student so that way you can see what the assignment looks like when you work on it. So when you work on yours, you're going to have your class name up here, you're going to have your assignment, and it'll actually have your name right here. And these are the directions. Now, I want to show you how you use the tools so that way you can put your answers on these pages. When you click right here, your file will open up like this. Now, it's really small, so I want to show you how you can zoom in. So you come right over here where it says zoom, and you can click right here at about 100%. Now notice that the cursor is still pointed like an arrow. Okay, that's important. So we can scroll back up to the top and it says lines of symmetry, and it wants to know, do you know what a line of symmetry is? Now if you're not sure, you've got your math book that will also go over it on today's assignment. And you can find the definition in the back of your math book. If you have an idea on what you think it is, you can go ahead and type that in as well. Now, when you are typing, you're going to notice that there's other spots in here, but you'll only be able to type where there's a box. And so I'm going to put my cursor, the little tab that shows where I'm typing, and I'm going to delete this. You can delete it that way, or you can hit this, or you can select it and then just start to type on it. But generally I will hit the delete. So if you're following along, I'm going to go ahead and just fill this out with you, since you're probably watching as well, and then you can come back and fill yours in. So you'll open your document. You're going to zoom in by coming to the plus button and then clicking on so you can get a closer view, and then you click in here. Now a line of symmetry, if you were to look in your book, is a line that divides a shape into two parts. Now you can find that definition in your textbook as well. And then it says line of symmetry divides a shape, and again, we just answered it where it says. Now I'm going to delete again. You can put your cursor here, and then you can just hit the backspace button if you want also. Now it divides it into two parts that are the same. That are the same. Now your textbook might use the word congruent, and that means the same. And notice how I clicked off to move away from there. If you click off and move away, then I can slide. Now the next section wants you to draw lines of symmetry. To draw lines of symmetry on these images below. So the line of symmetry is just a line that actually cuts something into two parts that have to be exactly the same. Now, to do this on a document on Google Slides, notice that when you put the cursor over a box, it looks like you can move the box, but you don't want to move the box. What you'll do is you'll click where you want to write, and then if you move your cursor to the top, you're going to notice right up here where it says lines, and you can click. Now notice how my cursor is in the shape of a plus sign. That means it's ready to draw. Now a line of symmetry is going to split this little teddy bear right in half. And so you can just carefully drag your line and cut it. Now notice that my cursor changed again. Now it's pointing as an arrow. So if I look at this next picture of this butterfly, notice how when I click on here, it turns blue. Now I want to add a line. So I'm going to come back up and we're going to decide, well, if we split it horizontally, these two won't be the same. But if we split it vertically, straight up and down, and it's okay if your line doesn't come out too straight, we can see what you're trying to do there. So now that butterfly is cut into two parts that are exactly the same. And notice my cursor changed again. The cursor is this thing right here. Now it turned back into an arrow. And when I click off to the side, you'll notice that these things become unhighlighted. So let's take a look at this fish. Well, we come over here to click a line. Now if we were to click and draw a line here, these two sides aren't the same. So that's not right. So I'm going to leave my little line clicked on and I'm going to delete it. Now notice again, the cursor is not showing that I can use it as to draw with. Now, if we were to try to draw a line across this way, it's still not going to have two parts are the same. So this fish does not have a line of symmetry. So let's take a look at this laptop. Now, if it actually had letters on the keys, well then we couldn't draw a line of symmetry. But since this picture doesn't have any letters on the keys, I'm going to click on the picture. You notice how it turned blue because I selected it. Then I'm going to come up to the top again and notice how I'm going to click right there on the line. And now when I bring my cursor back, notice that it's in the shape of a plus sign and it's ready for me to draw. So we're going to draw a line of symmetry straight down the middle. Again, the cursor's changed back to a pointed arrow. Our last picture is going to be this gift box. Now I'm going to come back up. Now you might be able to tell already that that gift box doesn't look like it's going to be exactly the same, and you may want to get a closer look. So we're going to come over here where the little magnifying glass is at, and I'm going to click zoom down, and I'm going to go in about 200. Now notice how I can come back down here and I can slide. Yeah, it doesn't look like if I were to cut that in half that it's going to be the same. So let's select on it. I'm going to grab my little toolbar with my pencil. Notice my cursor again is ready to write. Now if I draw a line of symmetry, it almost looks like it would be right. But notice that this side of the present, the ribbon's tilted. So this would not create two exact pieces. So I'm going to select on that line that I just drew and I'm going to hit the delete button. So this picture does not have a line of symmetry. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to zoom back at 100. Now you're going to notice your little bar right here. You can slide over. So let's slide over and let's look at the last section of this page. It says kick it up a notch. It wants to draw us to draw all possible lines of symmetry on these images. And then we're going to write the number of lines of symmetry below. So let's take a look at these pictures. Again, I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to come and grab my tool. My cursor is going to show. Now, the first one I think we can do is diagonal. Diagonal means straight across at an angle. Now, it's kind of close enough. Now, if you want to know how to move it, you can actually click on it and then shift it over. It's going to be a little too much. That's going to be good. Then, again, I'm going to come, click back off because that's one line of symmetry. Now, we could also create another line. I'm going to go click on my line, and I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to create my line going this way. So this picture has two lines of symmetry. So I'm going to come down below. I'm going to hit my backspace button. And I'm going to put 2. that has 2 lines of symmetry. Now notice that I'm going to click off again of the picture. When you click off to the side, it unselects any of the materials or anything that you might have clicked on. So let's go to the next picture. I click on my picture to select it. It turns blue. I slide my cursor over to click on a line. It turns into a plus sign. And I'm going to draw a line. Oh, that's actually not too good. I'm going to draw a line better right here. I'm going to grab that line again, and I'm going to do my best to make it straight. That's 1. Now, if you see that split both sides exactly the same, it also appears that we could create another line right here. It's a little too high. I'm going to click on it and shift it down just a little bit. Now notice what I did. If you click on an object and then use your up and down arrows, I'm clicking on my up and down arrows right now as you see that little bar move. You can also do that. So this one has 2 lines of symmetry because we could not create a diagonal one because they wouldn't be the same. Now notice that the bar is still blue. I need to click off to the side in order to unselect that bar, that line. So this picture also has 2 lines of symmetry. So you're going to click back into your spot and then type in 2. So let's look at this next picture. Again, I'm going to select on the picture. I'm looking for how many lines I can create that will split this picture into 2 exact pieces. So I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to select my line, and we're going to draw the vertical straight up and down first. That's 1. Click off. 2. I know if we do one horizontal, flat, going from left to right, that's 2. But let's look at this in a different way. Let's see if we were to cut this picture right through the middle. Notice how if we cut that picture right through the middle, I'm going to click off so you can see it. You'll see that if I were to cut it diagonally, these 2 pieces match exactly on the other side. So if we can cut it diagonally from the upper left to bottom, then we should be able to cut it from the other side. So let's take your cursor, you're going to go and click on another line, and then let's draw it from this angle. So I'm going to click off again so we can see. So we have 1 horizontal up and down, 2 vertical across, a 3rd line diagonal, and a 4th line diagonal. So this picture has 4 lines of symmetry. Now let's select this last picture. This picture, of course, you're looking at it and it's missing a side. So far, I think the only thing that we might be able to do is perhaps if we were to cut it. So perhaps if we were to cut it maybe horizontally, that means from left to right. So I'm going to select on my picture. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on my line. I think if we draw a line right there, we should be able to see that this half and the top half are exactly the same. So it has 1 line of symmetry. Now, if we were to come and try to draw another, well, we couldn't do an angle because those 2 sides are not the same. So I'm going to click back on that line and I'm going to hit delete. We can't draw one straight up and down because then those 2 wouldn't be the same. So this picture would only have, and I'm going to hit backspace, 1 line of symmetry. Now, every time you type on a document, you're going to notice this little cloud. That cloud tells you it's been saved. Whatever you're working on is automatically being saved. So you don't have to click a file save as. So now that I finished this page, this is how you turn it in. You don't even have to click off on this page. You'll come back over here to your assignment, and where you see the turn in button, that's where you click on. You'll click turn in, and it says you're ready to turn in your work. Turn it in. Now, once you've turned it in and you've decided, hey, you want to take another look at it, notice right here, this says unsubmit. All you got to do is click here, and it's going to bring you that page right back to you. And I'm going to show you that. Let's bring it back. It says, are you sure you want to bring it back? Yes. Now, when it opens the page again, notice what you're going to do. All you're going to do is you're going to come back, open it here, and all of your work will still be saved. All of your work will still be saved. That way, if you wanted to make any changes, you could. Now, don't forget to turn it back in. So now that we opened it back and you took it back, it's kind of like if you turned your paper in and they said, oh, no, never mind, let me have that back. Well, you still have to go back and turn it in. So come back and make sure you click turn in. It says, you sure? Yes, I am sure I want to turn it in. So again, when you open these documents, and you can find that either through your email or you can actually go back to your Google Classroom to open up that assignment. And then just make sure that you turn in submit. And if you've got any kind of questions, just let me know. Thank you.